Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Kenysha. Welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about so much today. So settle in and get your popcorn, and get your drink because first we're going to talk a little bit about you see the title. We're talking about getting ready for price increases on accessible luxury today. Accessible luxury, we will talk about what is accessible luxury because I find this to be very amusing. And the brands that fall under the accessible luxury category, according to themselves, are Coach, Kate Spade, Michael Kors, and Tory Burch. And I also want to talk a little bit about Gucci. What is going on with Gucci? So let's get into it. Let's get into it because you guys, I can't understand it. I can't understand what is going on out here. And then when we're done talking about the news, the fashion news, then we will turn our attention to the bags. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen so that we can talk a little bit about Kering first of all. All right. Kering's shares are down. Okay. So let's just start with what's going on with Kering. What's going on with Gucci? Gucci is facing a market luxury slowdown head on. Kering CEO hopes Gucci turnaround will deliver results by year end. Wow. Gucci profits plummet 40 to 45% in the first half of the year. Wow. The guidance was issued as the French group released first quarter sales that confirmed forecasts for a slowdown. Weak demand in China and poor performance at flagship Gucci are weighing on the entire Kering group. So let's get into it, my friends, because this is interesting. Francois Pinault's pocketbooks are a hit. Kering is somewhat of an outlier. Listen to this. Kering is somewhat of an outlier in the luxury sphere, the luxury space this year. Why? Because they're the ones not doing so well in luxury. Who's doing well right now? Guess who's defying odds? Hermes. Hermes is defying odds. Louis Vuitton, they started off strong because of Pharrell Speedy P9 conglomerate, but they have also admitted to seeing a slowdown in sales right now. And Chanel is also seeing a slowdown in sales, which is the reason why they have hiked their prices, even though their quality is not showing a reason why they should have the opportunity to hike their prices. And Kering, Gucci, the flagship of the Kering group, rival to LVMH and Hermes, is suffering in the luxury sphere. And the founding family isn't too happy. Imagine. I wouldn't be too happy either, sir. I understand your pain. Shares in the luxury conglomerate are down 18% in 2024, Bloomberg reported on Thursday. Rivals like LVMH and Hermes, meanwhile, have seen their stocks rise, although LVMH, to be fair, because I've been looking, they have been fluctuating a little bit volatile. Hermes, on the other hand, up and up. The former has seen gains of 6%, while the latter has seen an impressive 20% increase. They're talking about Hermes, just so you know. As such, Kering founder is scratching his head wondering, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with Gucci? My wealth has been cut in half in just 3 years. I am not the number one richest man in the world, says Francois Pinault. I want to be the richest man in the world. What must I do to be the richest man in the world? He says to himself, he thinks what he must do is raise prices. He thinks that's what he should do. Is it? Let us find out. You're disappointed. You're frustrated. Me too. The first, be sure of that. He said, Listen to this woe is me story by Rich Men Crying. Because why, my friends? Understand, it's because we're not spending our money with them. Okay? It should be a concern for them. And we should be delighting in their inability to gain our dollars. Because why? Because here on my channel, we secure our coins and our purses. And if we don't believe that those purses are worth our coins, they don't get them. It's that simple. Okay. So earlier this week, Kering said it was expecting its profits to decline as much as 45% in the first half of the year. You guys, let me tell you something. Businesses know when they're doing well and when they're not doing well. For this CEO to say to the world, basically, even to people like us who buy their products, that they know that their profits are going down, that's a signal. That's a signal to pay attention to. Understand the red flags. I'm all about the red flags, okay? If they're telling me their profits are going down, understand you should be heading to the outlets to scoop up whatever is about to come from them in the flagship store to the outlets, because they're not bright enough like Louis Vuitton to not have outlet stores, right? They're trying to exist on a level like Louis Vuitton, but are operating on the level like Coach. You understand what I'm saying? So they knew this was coming, and so we should be paying attention to this. On Thursday, one of Pinel's deputy CEOs noted that Kering has energy and determination to respond to a less than stellar stock performance. Understand something. When companies are on stocks on the market, their duty is to make profit. Their duty is not to us. Their duty is not to quality. Their duty is to securing as much coin from us to fund their coffers as possible and boost their stock price. They don't care, which is the reason why I say, is it a good time to buy Gucci? Maybe not in store, because I believe that their prices are somewhat inflated, and you may be able to secure whatever you're looking for later on for a good price, maybe even seasonal items. So you might want to hold on your purchases with Gucci, especially because I have seen some cute things coming from Gucci. I myself said to myself, Gucci, where is this coming from? These cute pieces that you have at these high $3,000 price points. I thought your stock was plummeting. Is it not worth your while to make sure that your prices are in line with your supposed consumer base who might be willing to come into your flagship store potentially and drop our coin with you? Might you consider not trying to overinflate your prices, similarly Kering Group, Yves Saint Laurent, to be on the level of Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and Hermes? Why are we seeing $3,000 price points from Gucci? Gucci, let's continue. In an attempt to turn around Kering's fortune, the company will focus mainly on Gucci, which makes up more than 2/3 of the conglomerate's profitability. And how have they been doing that, my loves? How have they been doing that, my doves? They have been going back into their coffers. They've been taking a playbook from all of their competitors, as they should, as they very well should, and seeing what's been working for Louis Vuitton has been going back into archives, going backwards in time to pull forward the true blue customers who were there always in the beginning, who were never part of the fast fashion trend. They went back in order to find the Ophelia, right? The Diana bag, right? The nice they went away from the géant print for the most part, because that was not timeless and classic, and they went back to their roots. That's what they're trying to do anyway, is go back to their roots. And unfortunately for them, it's a terrible market when it comes to finances, where they're not going to be able to compete on a higher price point level like their competitors. And what they should do to compete is lower their prices and stay accessible. Be real accessible luxury, not what Coach is calling themselves. We will get to that. Let's continue. Kering is also in charge of brands like Bottega Veneta, Yves Saint Laurent, and Balenciaga, which we know is actually Balenciaga, the bottom of the barrel. I mean, allegedly. All of this is my opinion. I should have referenced that from the front, from the start, from the get-go. Kering, according to a new ranking, all three of those brands are among the top hottest labels in the first quarter of 2024. Perhaps that will help boost Kering, right? So imagine they want to focus on Gucci, but what their strong suit is right now as a first quarter of 2024 that they want to ignore is Bottega Veneta, Saint Laurent, and Balenciaga. Imagine that. How could that even be possible? Balenciaga is the worst troll. Allegedly, just my opinion. Perhaps that'll help boost Kering throughout the rest of the year, despite Gucci potentially lagging behind. Although, with the renewed efforts to elevate Gucci, maybe that brand will crack the top 10 soon enough. My goodness, they are not even in the top 10. My friends, maybe this is, if you want to look at this from the opposite point of view and say, it's a good time to help elevate Gucci, help prop them up, help support the economy, then go do your shopping. Okay, go do you. I don't know if I can help lean into that support right now, my friends. Not the way that I want to. Although Gucci has some really cute things that are calling me, so we're gonna have to see if I answer. We're gonna have to see if we answer the call. Let's see. Let me go up to comments. Hello, Debbie. While we're talking about Gucci, the good thing about Gucci is you can always find them at a better price on the pre-love market. I know Balenciaga is, I dropped that brand down when that scandal came out, and we're not going back. No, we're not going back. Good. So let me see what else I wanted to talk about related to. Yep, we're still going to talk about Gucci right now because for whatever reason, they really think that the strategy that they have in mind is working. And I don't understand why. Right, Deb? Hey, girl. Hi, Debbie. Hey, friend. Okay, so let me make sure we're looking at the same thing here, because after we talk about Gucci, you guys, we got to talk about Tapestry. We got to talk about Coach. We got to talk about Accessible Luxury and how they want to push themselves into the realms of competing with top luxury brands and how they're doing it, because I like talking about money, and when it comes to fashion and money, it's my jam. So let's continue talking about Kering Group before we get into what Coach is doing, because they're also unreal. So Kering shares drop after Gucci slump, profit warning, company's biggest label. Gucci is undergoing a turnaround. I really don't understand why I wanted to play this. Okay, here we go.
Sometimes investing can feel like you're going at it alone, especially when it comes.
I think the share price reaction that you see with Kering today is just the reflect of what the company has said yesterday evening at a call, saying, first of all, that current trading was not great, and that April is actually below the performance of Q1, which implies that there should not be massive improvement in Q2, which we were all more or less expecting a little bit. And the second thing is, of course, as you mentioned, the fact that the indication that they have given for H1 and H2 profits are leading to massive downwards revision from the consensus we have estimated probably around 15%. So this is true that Kering is currently trying to turn around the Gucci brand at a time when the Chinese market, well, the Chinese customer cohort is pretty lackluster. So this is why it's probably going to take more time than originally anticipating.
I think that's really interesting. I think it's really interesting when brands point to plummets in their sales by saying that the customers in different regions of the world is what's pulling their sales down. I feel like if you're hot, you're hot. if your brands are what everybody wants, then everyone is going to want them. I think also an issue probably Gucci faces more than Louis Vuitton is counterfeits. And I think if the Chinese are saying that they're not wanting to spend money on Gucci, then it's either a question of what they're spending money on, right? Whether what they're spending money on is the real deal or not in the real stores or not, or whether or not they're putting their money elsewhere with other competitors. So I just think that's kind of interesting that sort of Gucci claims that they're going through some sort of transformation. When they say turnaround, AKA, it means we're going through a transformation. We're in a slump because our products are not selling, and we're trying to go back into our bag of tricks to figure out what we're going to do to fix that problem. And we also think simultaneously our stock is underperforming because investors no longer want to invest with us because we're not bringing them more money. We're not bringing them more value. And to get them more value means hurting us, people who buy their bags, by raising their prices. So that's just like the interesting dynamics to always understand when we're talking a little bit about price increases versus whether or not these companies are actually performing in a way that we desire. We, the customer, is the end product here that these companies are failing to continue to put front and center. A lot of companies have started to take into account customer feedback. I do believe Louis Vuitton has been taken into customer feedback. If you have seen all of the new toiletry pouches, the new accessoires, the new chains that are being the new feet that they're adding to bags now, you guys, when I tell you, listen, our community is strong and our voice is mighty. I'm telling you, we may be small, but we are mighty because our community is for real. We are talking about the real deal stuff here that we want. And when I tell you I'm not spending my money on something because of X, Y, and Z, and I put it out there, and many of you agree, best believe those companies are paying attention. Okay. So again, the fact that Gucci is just sort of has no ideas and is blaming the fact that they have no ideas on their slumping stock price is interesting. And then also increasing price points that nobody wants to pay for Gucci is so counterproductive to their strategy. It really always interests me why companies never go to get customer feedback, client feedback. So those are my thoughts related to Gucci. And now I want to talk a little bit about Tapestry. I want to move us over to the Tapestry conversation because this is where we're going to need our popcorn. This is where you're going to need your popcorn and your drinks because honestly, you guys, Coach is out of control. Coach is out of control, and we're going to talk about it. Let's see. What's Debbie saying? When you're hot, you're hot. Right. They need to keep their prices a tad lower than LV. If the prices are the same, most will go to LV. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you, Debbie. Exactly. Like, why are we going to Gucci? $3,000 bag, $4,000 bag. Let me go get the side trunk bag, right? Don't so many people want that bag? Just let me save up for a Speedy. Like, when we look at the resale market for Gucci, please tell me, are we even getting 30% of our money back? You're not getting 50%. So Gucci, don't play with us. They're just joking. Okay, let's move on to Tapestry because we got a lot to cover. And I want to show you a couple videos. We're going to watch a couple videos because there's a couple things going on with Coach that we really need to discuss. And I want to make sure we're on the same page because Coach is trying to, again, like Gucci, make their way into calling themselves luxury Coach, my friends. And I have no problems with people buying Coach. I have no problems. I have no problems with people buying whatever they want to buy. I have a problem with people acting like sheep and taking the label that the brand created for themselves and applying it onto themselves and saying it's luxury. Again, everything is, it's just like people create these labels. Humans created the labels. Coach created the label called accessible luxury. And now, again, influencers are saying Coach is luxury. See what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying? And then influencers are saying, you know, Coach is luxury. We're buying luxury. And so let's just be clear that the term is accessible luxury, according to Coach, the brand who wants to compete with high-end luxury. Okay? Which means, translation, high-end luxury equals higher prices, higher price points. Do you see what I'm going? A lot of people are never really connecting the dots when it comes to the words and following the money, or the money and following the words. If they say that they're luxury, understand they will want luxury price points eventually. Okay. So there's a lot of things going on with Tapestry wanting to sue Gap for using the name Coach on their t-shirts, which is hilarious to me. Like, Gap is such a troll. I love it for that. I love them for that. And Coach is being sued by the FTC, the United States government, for them trying to create a huge fashion conglomerate on par almost with LVMH, and under the guise that they're doing this for us. They're doing this merger, we're going to get into this, for the benefit of its customers. And so I just find this to be just the most amusing thing ever, because I see right through it. And so I'm just the messenger here to tell you guys that the fact that they want to label themselves luxury, understand what that means down the road for us. Okay. Just understand what that means. Okay. So here we go. Let's share and get this party started with this video.
This really isn't the first time that regulators have stepped in to fashion, have stepped in to luxury. So what does it mean to have this deal blocked?
First of all, this isn't the first time Tapestry has done this, believe it or not. So Tapestry doing this, the FTC has ruled that they're going to block this deal. They filed complaints in the House and federal court in their house. This is going to raise prices for handbags, accessories, and luxury items. And it's also going to harm consumers, believe it or not. One other thing, it's going to harm the 33,000 employees that work for both of these companies, because they compete intensely on everything from design, promotions, etc. So it's not necessarily a good thing. We have Tapestry, they're in charge of, or they own at least Coach, Kate Spade, Stuart Weitzman. Capri controls Michael Kors, Versace, and Jimmy Choo.
So what are the companies saying? I mean, you know, the FTC, for the FTC to step into luxury good deal is really quite shocking. I was at home yesterday afternoon, and that's why I sent it through and said, let's spend a little bit of time on this. What is it that the FTC are accused of not understanding?
Well, they don't understand why this whole deal is happening right now. They believe that, especially when you go down to the quote from Henry Liu, he says this is going to further entrench the stronghold in the fashion industry for Tapestry. Henry Liu, he is the FTC's Bureau of Competition. He's in charge of that. That's what he said. This combined Capri thing would be the second largest personal luxury goods company in the U.S. behind LVMH. So,
but see, this is the thing. Okay, not to speak ill of these brands, but I look at them: Kate, Coat, Spade, Stuart Weitzman. That's not exactly a stronghold in luxury goods. Again, if you compare it to someone like LVMH, who owns so much, I mean, is there not an element that this deal would help American luxury compete with European luxury?
We're talking about two companies, and we're talking about this merging of all these, just one huge brand, and it's Tapestry. They've done it before, so that the FTC has had their eye on them. So here we go again, and they're trying to have this stronghold on the entire fashion industry. It's going to really make them strong, the second largest brand.
Huh. Okay.
Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts?
Okay. Let's talk about this. Oh, my goodness. Where do I begin? Did you catch the merger of Tapestry and Capri would be damaging to consumers? What about employees? Did you catch that? All right. So one of the things that I love about understanding business, finance, money, reading lawsuits, things like that is you get to understand both sides. Okay. And what we have here is something that is not at the end of the day going to be good for people who like accessible luxury, like Coach, Michael Kors, as they said, Jimmy Choo, who else? Versace, Kate Spade. All right, so Capri has Michael Kors, Versace, Jimmy Choo, right? Tapestry has Coach, Kate Spade. I forget who else they said. And they want to merge all of this together. They want to be like, you heard it, LVMH. Did you hear this? Why do they want to be like LVMH? So according to them, not according to the government who is suing them to block this. Understand, they're saying we want to be like LVMH because in America, there's no conglomerate to compete against the European conglomerate of LVMH. And if we merge ourselves together here in America, we'll be able to compete against LVMH, meaning translation, will be big enough to fight them. Now, this is all alleged. Is that even true? Let me help you understand whether or not this even makes any sense. Is it even true by merging that this is going to help them compete? What it's going to do is what we just heard him say it's going to do. It's going to hurt employees. People are going to be laid off. Okay. Not only that, people are going to be laid off. People get laid off because that helps the company raise more money because employees are the most expensive cost to a business. So people are going to get laid off. Best believe those designs that we already see looking very similar to one another will probably get even more closer in similarity. So how does this help consumers? And the final point, which we heard, was price points are going to go up. We know price points would go up because right now price points are at the same level because there's competition. When they say that we want to merge because there's no competition, it's all a lie. They're saying we don't compete against Michael Kors. Kate Spade doesn't compete against Michael Kors. If anything, we compete against Tory Burch because Tory Burch is not in any of those conglomerates. So they could say that, but imagine they form themselves into this major conglomerate. What's going to happen to Tory Burch? They're going to fall right into it. They will have to because they alone won't be able to compete with this conglomerate here in America. It doesn't help consumers if they're raising their prices. It helps no one. It helps them. It helps the businesses. Oh, I hate that. Let me take a break. Let me take a sip. It helps the CEOs. He gets to add more bucks to his pocket. When he acquires those businesses, he gets a bonus for seeing the strategy through, whatever. Another bonus for cutting the company in half of employees. Another bonus for profits because people are buying now because, we've rebranded. There's new marketing And all of a sudden, it's this new thing. Coach, Michael Kors, Versace, Michael Chu. We're all one big happy family. Oh, and by the way, prices are going to start creeping up by 10%. Oh, and then it's going to be 12%. But then it's going to be not good enough for them to be accessible luxury. Because why? They want to compete with high-end luxury. They want to compete with LVMH. They said it. When they show you who they are, believe them. So let me show you another video. Now, this one I actually really like because it's by another YouTuber who is in the finance market. So he's not even in luxury. He's a man. And I watch him. His name is Patrick Boyle. And what I like about him is his take is, for you guys, you know, the majority of his audience is men. So his take is very dry. It's not for us luxury enthusiasts who need our colors and our pizzazz, but he makes an effort, let me tell you. So I do enjoy his videos, and he really breaks down what's going on with this FTC issue. The FTC seeing an issue with the merger of Tapestry and Capri. He really breaks it down in a way that I find relatable. So I wanted to share that with you. Debbie, girl after my own heart. All right, let me play this. Right. I mean, honestly, guys, I know Coach is like however many years old organization similar to Louis Vuitton. I think centuries old organization, but for whatever reason, they've never sort of been able to break beyond the level of luxury that they are in. And when you hear the FTC say Coach has done this before, they have tried to sort of create a mega conglomerate before. They have tried to put themselves in a position that consumers sort of do not get behind, do not support. And again, they're trying it, you know, they are really trying it. So it's interesting. All right, so let's listen to Patrick Boyle break this down, because he's definitely got a way of making things that are complicated easy to digest and understand, probably because he was a fund manager, I believe, an investment banker. And his whole channel is about making topics like money, finance, investment banking sort of more digestible to everyday people like you and me. All right, so let's listen.
American consumers are at risk of being deprived of the competition for affordable handbags. Yet, American consumers are at risk of being deprived of the competition for affordable handbags. Yes, you heard me right. Lina Khan, Joe Biden's FTC commissioner, who took office after saying that federal agencies have failed to do enough proper policing, filed a lawsuit this week to block the accessible luxury fashion conglomerate Tapestry from buying a UK-based competitor, Capri Holdings. Now, look, I can tell you guys are already about to click away from the video, and I'm aware that my audience is 98% male. And yes, I do agree with you guys that all handbags are the same. But you know the way crypto bros think that all cryptocurrencies are different from each other and that they have different utility. Well, according to this FTC lawsuit, that's how some women feel about handbags. They don't necessarily recognize that all handbags are exactly the same.
Okay, I know you guys wanted me to stop it right here to correct Mr. Boyle and letting him understand that no, of course they're not all the same, Patrick, but we appreciate your insights. Continue.
FTC has been a hive of activity since Biden nominated the then 32-year-old Lina Khan to chair the federal agency in 2021. Khan, who rose to prominence after writing a viral law article in 2017 about Amazon's economic dominance when she worked for the think tank New America Foundation, has lost 2 of her most significant courtroom cases so far and has attracted a blizzard of criticism for her broader agenda from both the left and the right. This new lawsuit alleges that Tapestry's purchase of Capri would eliminate head-to-head competition between the group's brands like Michael Kors, Kate Spade, and Coach, giving Tapestry a dominant slice of the accessible luxury handbag market. The lawsuit spends a lot of time defining what accessible luxury is, saying that the term was first coined by Coach, a Tapestry brand, at the time of its IPO over 20 years ago. The suit carefully distinguishes accessible luxury from mass market products and from high-end luxury, focusing in particularly on handbags. It's worth noting that all of these brands appear to produce other products like clothing, shoes, eyeglasses, watches, perfumes, and other accessories. They even make menswear, which I did look at online, and they appear to mostly sell the kind of shoes worn by American politicians. The reason that the lawsuit is so focused on accessible luxury handbags, which they carefully define, is that the case relies on the HHI, or Herfindahl-Hirschman Index, a commonly used measure of market concentration, in order to claim that this acquisition is anti-competitive. Obviously, if you widen the definition of the industry to women's wear, handbags in general, or accessible luxury goods, or even leatherware, the acquisition does not really seem significant from a market concentration perspective. The New York Times writes that the lawsuit is a rare move by the agency to block a fashion deal, given that the industry does not suffer from a lack of competition. The lawsuit argues that the acquisition would likely lead to higher prices, decreased innovation, and reduced wages. Now, I won't lie to you, until I read the lawsuit, I wasn't aware that the accessible luxury handbag industry was such a hotspot of innovation.
Hello? Obviously, this is the whole reason why men know nothing about women's luxury nor our bags. It is a hot spot. And when we carry them, we are hot. We are the hot spot. Hello? Jeez.
Here. It's a tough call. They're so different. Something funny?
Right. What's funny?
No. They both just look the same to me. That's all.
What?
Oh.
You can't.
Okay. I see. You think this has nothing to do with you.
Right.
You go to your closet and you select, I don't know, that lumpy blue sweater, for instance, because you're trying to tell the world that you take yourself too seriously to care about what you put on your back. But that blue represents millions of dollars and countless jobs. And it's sort of comical how you think that you've made a choice that exempts you from the fashion industry when in fact you're wearing a sweater that was selected for you by the people in this room.
That was a bit awkward.
All right. So you see why I like this gentleman. His humor, his dry humor is engaging and entertaining. All right, let's continue.
Who let those people in? Anyhow, why are the FTC getting involved in a deal like this? And more importantly, are they just trying to block every merger? Jeffrey Sonnenfeld of the Yale School of Management wrote a piece a few months ago saying that 2.5 years into Khan's tenure, the FTC has lost every single merger challenge it has brought through litigation across both federal and administrative courts, without even a single win in cases as varied as Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, Meta's acquisition of Within, and Illumina's acquisition of Grail, to name just a few. Learning a little every day is one of the most important things that anyone can do. And today's standard has been the guiding principle for regulators and for courts. Under that standard, regulators have generally recognized that there are usually economic benefits associated with business combinations. After all, That's why they're being done.
Right.
They can lead to greater operational efficiencies
Where are the
within
standards?
businesses. Regulators have focused mainly on preventing mergers that are anti-competitive and might harm consumers with higher prices, reduced output, or diminished quality. Under Lina Khan, the focus of the FTC has changed. Antitrust laws are in place in almost every country to prevent certain types of business practices that are deemed anti-competitive. Courts in the US.
Okay. Okay, this is where I stop this because the point that I wanted to make was made about where did the term accessible luxury come from. If you want to continue watching that video, I dropped the link into the description so you can do so. Because what he is saying in his video is that the FTC is going after Tapestry for the wrong reasons, basically. He's saying that they want to merge with Capri because there's not any competition in the handbag market, whatever. And what Patrick is saying is that you normally, if there is an FTC ruling to block a merger like this, it's because it's something that's going to harm consumers in some way. You know, it's not going to be beneficial economically in some way. And so that's their job. That's their role. And he's just arguing like, that's not what they're doing here, is what he's arguing against. He's saying that they're trying to scare other brands from merging together for the wrong reasons. So you can go ahead and finish watching that if you want. Okay, so what I wanted to finish talking about regarding Tapestry, and I'm going to lean into some articles now, is Coach Tapestry, owned by Coach, created that term, accessible luxury. Did you hear him say that? He read it directly from the lawsuit. That's the reason why I wanted to show you that as a credible source, because it's actually showing the lawsuit. And since I didn't pull up the lawsuit, I wanted to show you that he actually did and highlighted that area. And when I read that part, heard that part, it really made me stop and think. Because Coach created the term accessible luxury 20 years ago. What's been happening for 20 years? Has Coach not been trying to steadily increase their prices and gain their way back from the brink, from the edge of going bankrupt, when they were everywhere and anywhere for sale and had to just pull themselves, I think, out of like all the department stores, even though they're still in outlets? Like, Coach almost went out of business and then they had their turnaround. But in rebranding themselves 20 years ago, they came up with the term accessible luxury. They marketed themselves to be a mid-tier luxury brand that was affordable, acceptable, and high quality to consumers. And over the past 20 years, they've really leaned into that, and it's really worked for them. Now, 20 years later, Coach Tapestry, because over these 20 years, understand, they have been collecting Kate Spade, understand, right? Kate Spade used to be on his own, now it's under Tapestry. They've been collecting. They've been picking up brands along the way. They've been acquiring, doing acquisitions, similar to Louis Vuitton, LVMH. And now, 20 years later, they want to add to understand their term and definition of accessible luxury: Michael Kors, Jimmy Choo, and Versace. Now, I think people would probably say that Versace is probably up there around like the tier above Coach, sort of like where Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci are. But understand that they also want to elevate not only Versace further to compete in the LVMH space, but they want to elevate Coach, Michael Kors, to compete with Prada, right? Saint Laurent, Gucci, they might stand a chance. Understand that strategy takes years to unfold, years to develop, years to unfold. There's always short-term planning, long-term planning. And the fact that they want to compete on a level with LVMH means they believe they have a chance to elevate themselves, maybe not yet to that level, but maybe over the next 20 years to the level of Prada, Yves Saint Laurent, Bottega Veneta, and Gucci. Debbie asks, how do I feel about Tory Burch? Elite Rodaswell bags. I have that brand. It's somewhat accessible luxury, right? Yes. Coach is affordable, and they do have some quality in their bags. Yeah. How do I feel about Tory Burch, Lee Rodaswell? I feel like Tory Burch reminds me of Rebecca Minkoff. Yeah. Rebecca Minkoff. And I think she's also accessible luxury. Tory Burch, Rebecca Minkoff, Michael Kors remind me of each other. And for whatever reason, Coach does not remind me of Michael Kors. I know. You're saying no. Michael Kors does have a luxe side. I was about to say that. Michael Kors does have a luxury side. It's called Michael Kors Collection. You're right. And the prices are over $1,000 up to $2,000. I was going to talk about this because let me tell you how years ago I used to shop Michael Kors. And I remember buying a, kiddos are back. You might hear them. I remember buying one of the Michael Kors collection, snake skin, beautiful hobo bags with the gold black chain links all up and down that shoulder strap. That bag was everything. Snake skin like effect. And then that bag was $200 something. Then he made the real version, I think in Python, and that bag cost like over $1,000 or something like that. Maybe even close to $2,000 or something like that. And let me tell you how I remember seeing that bag because I loved it so much. I actually considered buying it, but then I backed away from the edge, y'all. I backed away from that cliff of sunk costs, money going down the drain. Because when I looked at the resale market, I said, I'm not going to buy it from the store. I'm not going to buy it brand new. I can find Michael Kors like Coach anywhere, on sale. And you can also pick it up on the resale market. eBay. I was looking at eBay, I remember. And let me tell you how that $1,000, $2,000 bag was like $500, $599, something like that. Buy it now, make an offer. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, just what? So how do I feel about Michael Kors' luxury side is it's like Gucci. It's like Saint Laurent. It's like Bottega Veneta. I bought a Bottega Veneta Boston bag. It was in the color peony. This color, beautiful. Maybe even a little bit more pink, pinkish purple. Beautiful. I loved it. I bought it off of eBay, I want to say for $6.99. Bottega Veneta. $6.99. I think I bought the girl. I speak French, not Italian, so sorry. Whatever. I loved it. It was gorgeous. And I remember I sold it because at the time, not me about to channel Nikki Sky. We're going to get into that one of these videos. Not me about to channel Nikki Sky and saying, I sold it because it was a top handle bag and I had kids at the time and I couldn't figure myself out. I couldn't figure it out. Oh my God. I sold it. And I remember I think I sold it for more money than I bought it for, but not by much because I didn't want to. I really thought it was such a beautiful bag. I just wanted to send it off to a good home. But I feel like Michael Kors luxury is like that. If you go on eBay, you'll be able to find a great deal for a new bag from Michael Kors collection. Okay. 80% off. Okay. That's how I feel like when I hear Coach talking about Tapestry, that these are the brands that's going to make them compete on the next level. Is it? I don't know. That's a good question. Anyway, what were we about to get into? I was about to show you. We were still talking a little bit about this lawsuit. All right. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm looking at. I hate when I do that. I'm reading away. I remember this time. Okay, the Federal Trade Commission today sued. Okay, this was back in April 2022. I mean, that was really only like 6 days ago. Wow. So they sued to block Tapestry's $8.5 billion acquisition of Capri Holdings. I can't even believe that that group cost that much. My goodness. This is what I'm talking about. Inflation is a fickle thing, and it's a very interesting thing. These prices that they're talking about, there's no way it costs $8.5 billion. Like these companies are really overpaying for these brands. They're really overpaying for these names. They really think there's a lot more value in them than I think customers believe, because I think we're all waking up to not wanting to spend all of our money, all of our coins in one place, being able to get a few pieces that we can have to curate a collection and sell them on in order to keep moving on up in order to secure what we really want eventually. So this is just very, very interesting. If allowed, the deal would eliminate direct head-to-head competition between Tapestry's and Capri's brands. It would also give Tapestry a dominant share of the accessible luxury handbag market, a term coined by Tapestry to describe quality leather and craftsmanship handbags at an affordable price. What do we think about this? No one's going to spend $2,000 on a Kors bag when you can get LV, Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent. Thank you, Debbie. Girl. But you know what, though? Why do people spend thousands of dollars on fakes? Can anybody riddle me that? Anyway. Anyway. They coined this term 20 years ago. The commission issued an administrative complaint and authorized a lawsuit in federal court to block the proposed acquisition, alleging that Tapestry's acquisition of Capri will eliminate fierce competition between the two companies. Will eliminate fierce competition. Okay, so the government is saying competition is good. It keeps prices low for us. You know what? But then what we suffer from is poor quality. You know, when they keep prices low, we suffer from poor quality. They're saying this would eliminate fierce competition. You know what? I'm lying to you guys. I think if they wanted to drive out a business out, if they wanted to drive a brand out of business, they would make their products lower prices, higher quality. This is what Coach did all along to stand out. They made good quality, and they kept their prices affordable. But the other brands, because I just saw a video, I think from Dawn, from at Dawn Loves Couture, talking about Tory Burch. She unboxed a Tory Burch bag that she wore once, and the back of it was flaking. The leather was flaking off. So, I mean, is that fierce competition if you're getting an okay price for an okay bag, but you can get that from any of these brands? And then if they combine themselves, you might be able to still get like an okay bag with okay quality at a higher price. Does that make sense? I don't think so. The proposed merger threatens to deprive millions of American consumers of the benefits of Tapestry and Capri's competition, which includes competitive pricing, discounts, promotions, innovation, design, marketing, advertising. The benefits. The deal also threatens to eliminate the incentive for the two companies to compete for employees, and could negatively affect employees' wages and workplace benefits. Post-acquisition, the combined group would employ roughly 33,000 people worldwide. With the goal to become a serial acquirer, Tapestry seeks to acquire Capri to further entrench its stronghold in the fashion industry. Oh my goodness. Well, this is what is being said by the FTC. The FTC is saying that Tapestry is a serial acquirer. And that by becoming this way, it will entrench them further in the fashion industry. This deal threatens to deprive consumers of the competition for affordable handbags, while hourly workers stand to lose the benefits of higher wages and more favorable workplace conditions. If anything, they stand to lose their jobs. And probably as a result of being faced with that condition, they're forced to work in less favorable conditions to retain their positions. But couldn't they then just go, I don't know. I don't want to say where they could go. I don't want to assume. I know what people could do. Tapestry and Capri currently compete on everything from clothing to eyewear to shoes. Where they most vigorously compete against one another, mainly between Coach and Kate Spade brands, is against Capri's Michael Kors brand in the accessible luxury handbag market. Wow. Michael Kors, not Michael Kors putting up a fight against Tapestry. 2-on-1 Tapestry? Guys, maybe Michael Kors is worth acquiring something if it takes Coach and Kate Spade to fight Michael Kors. That's crazy. I think the merger may cause more inflation as they will be under one umbrella for sure. They'll be able to boost those prices however they please. And what's that going to do to the people who access that market? Just like it did to people who were trying to be in the aspirational luxury market, it's going to knock them right out. I think that is just going to be just a shame. Like, honestly, everybody deserves to try to get an affordable handbag. And this is just something insidious. Like, this is just something I foresee a merger like this. It would just knock people out of the accessible luxury market too. People being knocked out of aspirational luxury, people being knocked and locked out of accessible luxury. What's going to be left for these brands? I don't even understand anymore. Today, Coach, Kate Spade, and Michael Kors continuously monitor each other's handbag brands to determine pricing and performance, and they each use that information to make strategic decisions, including whether to raise or lower handbag prices. Wow. And if they didn't have to compete, why would they then have to monitor anybody? They would just raise handbag prices. Do you see what I'm saying? If they don't have to compete with each other, they don't have to monitor with what each other is doing. They don't have to care what the consumer thinks about price increases because, like Chanel, everybody else, they don't care how we feel about the price increases. That they care about is their bottom line. And Coach will follow a similar plan, a similar outline, just like them. Wow. The deal would eliminate head-to-head competition on many important attributes, including on price, discounting, and design. So not only would prices go up, we probably wouldn't even see any variety anymore. Probably would lose out on your discounts too. Tens of millions of Americans tens of millions. Shoot, besides America, people come to America to buy. People from abroad come to America, so it's more than tens of millions. Tens of millions of Americans that purchase Coach, Kate Spade, and Michael Kors products could face higher prices, the FTC's complaint alleges. If Tapestry acquires Capri, Tapestry would gain a dominant market share in the accessible luxury handbag market, obviously putting Tory Burch beneath them. Tory Burch will probably have to go on their own acquiring spree in order to catch up, and the cycle continues. Tapestry has engaged in a decade-long M&A strategy through serial acquisitions to achieve its dream of becoming a major American fashion conglomerate. You know what? Everybody's got dreams, you guys. But this dream should be out of reach for so many reasons. Because this dream, what will remain for people? What tiers will there be? I'm going to tell you. Coach wants to push themselves to $1,000. I'm telling you, Coach wants entry-level prices. Just the same way as Chanel said, this wallet on chain, we're pushing the price. These Chanel O bags, we're increasing the price. Louis Vuitton said, forget these mini pochette accessoires being under $500 and mini pochette accessoires. Forget all of that. We're going above 500. We're going into the 800 mark, and pochette accessoires are going to cost $1,500 now. Toiletry pouches are going to cost $1,500 now. Forget it all. Forget all of that. Tapestry wants to push the envelope. And if they have their way and this merger goes through, you guys can forget about accessible luxury. Wow. The quality is luxe in the Lee Rodswell line. I'm not familiar. I'm going to have to take a look. You have to step into the Tory Burch boutique and check out the Lee Rodswell's double bags. I've been in Tory Burch, but not for a while. So, okay, I will. I have been in there, Debbie. Mm-hmm. Eventually, these brands will have to lower prices to get the sales. I love my sweetheart. Okay, can you close the door? Because mommy's working. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Vicky, you know, I was going to talk about, girls, we are getting into this discussion. Let me just finish talking about Tapestry because I want to get into the P9 anyway because I got something for it that I need to see if it's going to work for it. So you guys might as well stick around for that because I was going to show you like what bag I'm carrying right now. And then I was going to talk a little bit about this bag. Don't come over here, baby. Mommy's working.
That's a popcorn.
But it was for the audience. Don't come over here.
It was a popcorn.
Okay, go ahead. Here. All right. All right, go ahead. All right. So let me see. Let's get back into what we were talking about, but stick around, my loves. We are going to talk Louis Vuitton for sure. If you have any questions, get your questions ready and drop them down in the comments for when we get out of the Tapestry conversation. If you want to talk Louis Vuitton and you got that questions, go ahead and drop them down so we can get right into it once we transition. Okay, I appreciate it. All right, so yeah, Tapestry is trying to edge their way closer and closer, probably by combining with Michael Kors. They might try to, I guess Coach could then try to say, we want to create a luxury line. You know, that would make a lot of sense. Michael Kors did it, even though their resale value is terrible. And so is Coach's, if you think about it. If you think about trying to sell Coach years from now, I'll stop it. You cannot get...
I like your shoes.
Thanks, baby. You cannot get what you paid for that bag. You can't even get more. You know how with Louis Vuitton, sometimes you can get, especially if you sell like a popular bag right away after you've worn it, or maybe a year or two later, you can still get like about that price. You can't even get that price with Coach. Like, you're lucky if you can. And if you wait years to do it, forget it. So given Tapestry's pattern of serial acquisitions, the acquisition of Capri will further entrench their stronghold, making it harder for new brands to both enter the market, wow, and have a meaningful presence, wow. Okay, that I believe. That I do believe. That I do believe. Okay, if they combine into a conglomerate like that, it will definitely impinge on new entrants trying to, just new designers trying to come in and make their way. Like, it's so hard for entry level people to get their designs out there, especially if you have no money, you've got no marketing. I think that's a very good point. We miss out on the possibility of new creativity, new brands that we might be interested in. But then again, a lot of the times when we're introduced to new brands, I don't think we in the luxury community take them seriously. I think we really wait for them to entrench themselves. And according to this, that would never happen in any meaningful way with a conglomerate like this forming. So this deal is not likely to be Tapestry's last, as the acquisition of Capri will give them additional leverage to make even more acquisitions in the future, which is what I said. After they get Capri and Michael Kors, who's left out there? Rebecca Minkoff and Tory Burch, and who else? Put your comments down there, because that's who they want to scoop up in their vacuum along the way. The commission vote to issue the administrative complaint and authorize staff to seek a temporary restraining order and a preliminary injunction was 5-0, because they believe that the merger will eliminate substantial head-to-head competition between the parties. A public version of the complaint will be available and linked to this news release as soon as possible. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I link, obviously, all of this in to my description box below for where I like talking about the information, where I'm crediting my sources. I like to link all that below. So I'll definitely do that. And we can transition into Louis Vuitton. Yes, she's a little sweetie. All right, don't come over here, please. Yep, okay. All right.
I like the lips.
Mm-hmm. What do they look like?
They look pretty.
Why?
Because they're reddish, pinkish.
Uh-huh.
And the eyes are blue color.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
You are the best little marketer ever. I didn't even have to say a word. If you like my lip color, it is Chanel 222. And that was a present from Dawn. Thank you, girl. And if you like my eyeliner, I'm not giving away eyeliner right now, even though I just bought a whole bunch, because I have to figure out what I'm giving away for my upcoming giveaway. So stay tuned. But yeah, I just bought a whole ton of new eyeliner. All right. Who wants to talk Louis Vuitton?
Me.
You stay over there.
But I'm a YouTuber. I subscribe to your channel.
Oh, get out of here. All right. This is the Louis Vuitton high-rise bum bag. And it comes in monogram. It comes in denim. They recently released the Tyler the Creator X Pharrell, I don't know, rush bum bag. So there's a lot of bum bags out. And I think I got a lot of questions from you all asking me how I feel about my denim pieces. I have started using this piece. I started using this piece, I want to say yesterday, Friday maybe, because the weather started to lift. It's been raining. I just came back from Florida and I took this bag, my Spade P940. And so I had finally had an opportunity to start using the high rise. And some of the other pieces that I had acquired was the Pochette Fairfax, the Pochette Hills, the Sunset. The carryall I got and I returned, and something interesting is happening there. So you'll have to stay tuned on my channel to see that later. And the Keep All 45 I returned because it was just a little, I mean, we'll have to definitely talk about the Keep All 45 in denim and Keep Alls in general, but I find that I like the Speedy 40 size for travel best. For someone who I have back problems, oh my God, we're not getting into all my problems, but let me just say, if you have trouble with big bags, carrying things on your shoulder, and if you're traveling alone and you need to carry a 45, a 50, a 55 bag by yourself, you need to have strong arms and shoulders. And I don't. So I returned it and it was already heavy. And I thought this bag was going to be heavier because when I unboxed it and took it out, it had its stuffing in it, which made it heavier. And when I took out the padding, it made it much more functional and able for me to carry. And when I filled it up, I was able to carry it on the crook of my arm, which I really liked, by its handles, which I liked, on my shoulder if I wanted, because it was my personal bag that I took on, as well as my 45 was my carry-on. So all my real clothes and stuff was in my carry-on. And this acted as like my personal bag where I had my wallet and things, my book. If you have a mini iPad or an iPad, a computer or whatever. I even had my computer in my Horizon in my luggage, not in this. So this was not that heavy. And then I was able to rest this on top of my suitcase. So I just wanted to say that, like, when it comes to sizing, I'm definitely very sensitive to the size of bags that I buy now that I'm getting older. And a lot more of the bags that I buy that serve as my everyday bags are medium size to smaller size, not very large at all. And in fact, I had started to sell some of my large bags because I'm not going to use them. And again, not me channeling Nikki Sky or anything like that, which we will talk about in a video. I want to actually make a video, dedicated video to that. But I think that everyone goes through life changes, and everybody should be able to make changes according to the way that they're going through their journey in life. But some of the reasons that she listed, not me saying she should have kept to herself. Anyway, okay. Waiting on the denim GM. Oh, my cosmetic pouch. Yes. Yes. Yes, my dear friend, my twin. That's on its way. The encasement is on its way. And it's going to be a giveaway. I hope you guys are subscribed to my channel. It's going to be a giveaway. That is one thing I know that's coming. So, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. So look at what I'm doing. The strap of the high rise comes with one of those guitar straps, which is a no-no. And I had this other Louis Vuitton strap. This is from the Audacious. I had that bag. I love it. And I sold the Audacious. It comes with a top handle strap, and it came with like this crossbody strap, and it kept the strap. And I'm glad I did, because it's the only thing that will fit these crazy, chunky, huge D-rings. You see? I was going to sell this hand strap. I said, I'm not using it. But then this bag came into my life, and I'm using it because I prefer a leather strap to the guitar strap because it won't get dirty. So does it look beautiful and pristine, and like it goes with this bag? No, but you're on my channel because you don't care what anybody else thinks, and you do you. So I do what I want to do. All right, so let me show you what's in here. My hand brush, my hairbrush, my Speedy P9 25 pouch, I can't show you what snack I have in here because I have a little someone in here creeping around looking for all my snacks, staring at me with creepy eyes. My inhaler. Let me show you guys real fast what's in here. That'll hurt seeing. Don't come around here. Don't you come around here. You're not allowed on camera.
But why can I see it?
Because then you're going to say, Mommy, can I? And I'm going to say, anyway, my wallet is in the back. And I also put my phone back here at the same time as all this other stuff. Finally, I can show you everything that fits in here all at the same time, including the phone, because we're live. So the wallet and the phone are back there. The other wallet and the hairbrush are up here with the snacks. And boom, we are ready. We are ready to go. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. All right, let's talk about Speedy P9. All right, here, take this for Mommy. Please, can you take this for me?
Okay.
Thank you. Here, watch out. Put it on the bed for me. All right.
Here?
You great helper, you. Okay, my loves, look. This bag, let's see. Let's get into it. Let's go back up. Let's go back up. I have to check out Tory Burch. The lead. Oh, why do I feel like I did check that out? Let me see. Because, you know, I'm very finicky. I'm very, 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 very picky. Before I go and spend money, I go check it out. I research it. I see if I have anything in my collection that resembles it before I buy anything. So Lee Rads. Well, all right. I'll check it out. Lux line. All right, Deb. All right, girl. Thank you. All righty.
Welcome, Mommy.
What are your thoughts on the P9 in turquoise? I'm undecided. I don't want to dissuade anyone. Let me just say that first of all, on buying this bag, because I think it is truly fabulous. I really do. However, I had some reservations with some of the colors, and what reservations I have are with the future colors that are coming. And I feel terrible saying that because I have a color. You know, I have the red one and I do love it. But I purposely could have waited to get another color, you know what I mean? And I purposely went with monogram. So really, I want to explain why, and hopefully it helps you. And if it helps you with your decisions, great. But I absolutely don't want to dissuade anybody from making their own choices with how you spend your money, because I don't like to be told what to do when it comes to how I spend my money. So I think the turquoise color is so pretty. I think it's so pretty.
Turquoise rules.
I imagine that bag on vacation with me, traveling through the airport, sitting on a table with the turquoise water behind me. Okay. And I said to myself, I could see myself with a bag like that. It would be beautiful, right? I have so many summer dresses that would go with something like that. But I think that bag and any of the colors, to be honest with you, are best served in the smaller size bag, the Speedy 25. And the only reason why I say that is because I have a 25 and I feel like the color is so vibrant. It's so amazing. Eyes are drawn to it. And I'm not someone who cares for a lot of attention, even though I love bright colors and things like that. I don't really like for my bags to bring attention to me. My clothes, I don't mind. My shoes, I don't mind. But my bags, I try not to bring a lot of attention to me when it comes to my bags. So for that reason, I really like the turquoise color. If I was getting another one, and I am not saying that I am, it would have to be in the 25. I would never buy it in a 50. For example, I would never buy this bag in the 50. I don't want a bigger bag. You just heard me talk about why. So this is the biggest size that I'm going. I don't want another color in this size. This is the timeless version that I wanted. This is what I plan to use to travel. This is how I save money. This is how I think about my luxury lifestyle is this is a forever piece and I'm going to use it forever. And I am not going to use some of these other big bags as everyday bags because I'm using my smaller bags. And so when I travel, I'm taking a bag like this that can hold a smaller bag, and I'm making this my travel bag. And I even will make it, sometimes I'll leave it in the car. When I came back from Florida, it still had like all my wallet and essentials in there. It still had like some things in there. I just left it as my everyday bag for the whole of last week. It was in my, it was just like there with me using it, but more not using it to like go around shopping, not to go day-to-day walking in the park, not to go into CVS or to the gas station, more just like everything was still in it that I didn't feel like changing out of the bag yet. So if I was going in and out of the car, it was going in and out of the house with me, but all the stuff was still in it, and it was light. So it's light. It's light right now. And this is my bad shoulder. So I would not want this bigger bag in any of the brighter colors. Now, what do I think about the Speedy P9 25 in turquoise? You should do it. Did you think I wasn't going to say yes? Girl, you should do it. It is such a great bag. It is such a great bag. Okay. Let me tell you one drawback. One drawback. Can you go into mommy's bag and give me the red pouch, please?
Okay.
Give me the red pouch, please.
And this.
Yep. Thank you. Don't take any without permission. Yeah. All right. Here is my one drawback for you. Look at the difference in size of the pouches. Okay. Like, I'm just going to tell you, I took both of these. I had both of these in Florida with me, and I use this right now sort of like every day. But I feel like this is a better everyday because right now the proportions get bigger and bigger the higher you go. So if I had gotten a 50, this would be even more huge, which is crazy to me. Probably on par with the size of the Neverfull pouch. I could imagine. And so one of the things that I like about the bigger one, it's like a clutch for me. I like that. It's like acts as a clutch for me. I cannot get this one on my hand. I can carry it like this, but I cannot easily let it dangle while doing whatever, whatever. And I don't want to set something like that down and forget it, but it makes it easier to go about your business if you want to leave your bag at home. So that's just the one thing. You should definitely get it. If you're undecided, Vicky, why are you undecided? Like, I want to know. Because if it's money, save for it. If it's what people think, who cares? The Keeple seems too big and slouchy. So I had gotten the Keeple 45, and compared to the 40, I feel like the difference is the Speedy 40 is longer, right? And the Keeple is shorter, but wider. You know what I mean? And I think this is still smaller. I don't want an unwieldy bag hanging on me. I don't want to be bumping into people. I wasn't bumping into anyone, and it was nice and slouchy. It was hugging my body. And I have it on. This is my favorite setting right now to sling it crossbody. I think it's on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th hole to sling it around me crossbody so that it sort of hugs my hip. It was easy to still walk with it slung around me that way because sometimes I was rolling it on the 45 and sometimes I had it slung around me. Okay, how is carrying the 40 on your shoulder having it stuffed with belongings? It was better crossbody. Not bad crossbody. Not bad at all. Especially if you're using it to, like I said, I was using it when I came home and I still had my essentials in there, my everyday essentials. So because that's not a lot of stuff, I was just carrying it like this. Because I've also come to find I really like carrying my top handle bags now. See, and that's why I feel about like just the whole selling your bags when you're going through something because you had kids and they were young at the time. I wish I had kept that Bottega Veneta bag. Like now I'm using all these top handle bags and I love pink and I sold it. I don't know, guys. Kind of irritates me now, to be honest. So, wear it crossbody when you have it stuffed with your belongings. Don't stuff it as if you're going to be traveling or it'll be too heavy. If you're trying to carry it around, don't stuff it. I thought about getting a larger Speedy or Keeple for travel, but wasn't sure how I would like lugging such a large bag on my shoulder after items are stuffed. Good to know airlines accepted it. Yeah, they did. And let me see. I flew Frontier. Frontier had a great deal happening. It was like $322 for 4 people to fly. That was crazy. $72. My trick, let me tell you my trick though. Book one ways. Book one way and you save yourself money. I think the trip to fly down was similar. $300 for 3 people. And then I'll close the door, please. And then still close the door, please. Excuse me. I'm working. And then I went down by myself and I think I only spent, I don't know, guys. I don't remember. But coming back was so cheap. It was so cheap. And what you do is you make sure when you book your ticket, you say you are bringing a carry-on. Make sure you add that because let me tell you how my mom didn't. And when she got to the airline, they made her pay $100 to carry on her bag versus me. I had paid ahead of time because I was told she didn't have a carry-on. Anyway, when I paid online ahead of time, it was only $60. I shouldn't say only because that's still egregious. You know, these airlines are really gouging us like handbag brands want to do. What's happening in the world? We shall see. She likes my bag. She likes my shoes. Oh my gosh, did you hear her? Nice shoes. This girl, she's a girl's girl. I love her. I'm undecided between the P9 in red or turquoise in the 25. Ooh, should you wait? I don't know. Could you? I thought they were all sold out. Could you even still get the red? I don't even know if they're releasing the old colors when they come out with the new colors, to be honest. So you should look into that. The turquoise or the red. So let me just tell you, I love my red bag. And I have been searching for a red bag forever. And I love that I found it with Louis Vuitton. I don't even want another red bag. And this is what I mean. The itch. The itch would never have gone away. I would have just kept on spending money in order to find the perfect red bag, not realizing I was waiting for my favorite brand all along. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. I don't know how many times I have fought myself in vain to find the replacement of the replacement of the replacement. And it just, I always have to come back to the original. It's just, I no longer can waste my money like that anymore. Not sure if you should wait. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, my dear. You should definitely figure out whether or not you could even still get a red, because maybe that'll help you make your decision. You know, if they're just like, it's completely sold out, or they're like, it's going to be re-released with the next models that are coming, then you should reach out to your client advisor and get yourself ready. Get ready now. It will sell out. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care that people say they don't want them, they don't like them. They will sell out. Okay. All right. All right. You have time to decide. Not a lot of time, girl. It's going to be here before you know it. What, September? And or over the summer, a friend of mine is selling me the red full price. Ooh. What? You found a deal? I noticed the LV stands out more and will be perfect for the holidays. Oh, I know. I ordered mine around Christmas time too. I agree. The red is really phenomenal. All of the colors are really phenomenal. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to say except that. And the interesting thing when you look at them is the red and the white. The white is sort of like faded, like it should be over time, I guess. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but on the monogram, there's no fade. I mean, it kind of looks like the canvas LV, like it's kind of like, I don't want to say faded as in you can't see the design, but it's reminiscent of canvas, guys. If you look at your canvas and you look at this piece up close, I don't know what to say. It just feels better. It just feels better. We all love the red. Yes, we should. We love some color. We love color over here. Oh, okay. So let's get into what I need to do with this bag, because I have had something for a while that I want to try, and I figured it's a good time to try it with all of you right now instead of waiting and doing a video, so on and so forth. And oh my gosh, I wanted to get a base shaper, and I got this from Amazon for the Speedy 40 to try and see if it would fit in the bag, because as you know, I decided that I do not want an organizer for the 40, even though I have an organizer for the 25 and I love it, which I also got from Amazon because I don't have any Zumani sponsorships. I'm waiting. Zumani, if you watch this, you should sponsor me because I got more bags coming. So I wanted to try this base shaper in the bag to see if I wanted to give it some dimension, because this is what it looks like right now that it hasn't been stuffed. I haven't stuffed it since it's been back from Florida. And before the time runs out, I wanted to try this base shaper to see if this is something I want to keep. Do I like the way it looks or not? Because I like the way the bag hung with all my things in it a lot. All right. Oh boy. I can't even tell there's a base. I can't even tell anything is in there. What the heck is going on? I don't even think this fits. Oh my gosh. This doesn't fit. Is it supposed to be like this? Wait. What? Is it supposed to be like this? What am I doing wrong? It could be user error, right? It could be. It could be user error. Couldn't it? What am I doing wrong? What the heck? Oh, guys. Is it? Okay. I think I have to pack stuff in here. to see. Okay, it's the right length. It goes from end to end. It just, I can't tell it's going to do anything yet until I guess I pack it. Not us having to do some, not us, not me having to, not me having to figure this out right here real time. Because honestly, I'm a girl who will send you back. I will send it back if it's not working out. Let's just pretend this is a book I'm traveling with. I mean, I guess I don't have to pretend. It's the agenda. Oh my gosh. I don't really travel with my agenda because it's rather heavy. All right. What do we see? Is it work? What do we see? Oh God. The base. All right. What do we see? I'm going to take the base shaper out so we can see if there's any sag. You guys are going to help me decide this. Do I even need a base shaper? Because I feel like without one, it looked the same to me. But I don't know. What do I know? All right. Let's take out this. This is what I mean. Like, I shouldn't be able to take this out while everything is in there. Right? I don't know. All right. Let's see what the sag looks like. Oh, you can definitely see it. What do we think? I don't know. I don't know if I want that. Maybe the base shaper works out. Any thoughts? I feel like it did something because I can clearly see the agendas down here. Well, if you want a base shaper, now you know what it does. I suppose it adds a little bit more structure to the bottom of the bag, a little bit more definition. However, if you want a little bit more structure, I should say not a little bit, since this is more a little bit. If you want a lot more structure, like I want it in my 25, then you need an organizer, which I really appreciate. But I don't really know if I want an organizer for this bag because I feel like organizers take up enough space and they make it heavier because you can then, when you can start to stuff more in there, you start to stuff everything you can into all those pockets. And I feel like then I start to carry a heavier bag. So I don't think I want to do that. The other thing is I feel like with the base shaper in it, this made this bag less heavy, which is weird. So I don't know what the verdict is yet on the base shaper. Perhaps I'll keep it. If I was doing maybe like, if I was keeping this as like every day and I'm running around, I think I might put the base shaper in. And I think for travel, I didn't use the base shaper and I really like the way it hung without it. Yeah. So we shall see. Something to consider. Yeah. Yeah, Deb, we had to put stuff in there and see what the bag would look like. Oh, thank you. Thank you, friend. All right. You said you need a base shaper, not for looks, but for support. So over time, it won't get all wonky. I think so. Yeah. Because I definitely haven't been storing it, and look at it. It's kind of, I mean, it just kind of falls in on itself. So yeah. I'm probably going to keep the base shaper. Yeah. Yeah. An organizer for the 40 will make it more heavy, more boxy. Yeah, I know. And I think I like the way that the 40 sinks in on itself. The 25, not so much. I don't know why, but All I could think about when I bought my 25 Speedy was I once saw this elderly woman walking through the train station. She had a Damier Ben Speedy on the crook of her arm, and it was the canvas version, obviously, and the shape of it was immaculate. It wasn't droopy, it wasn't stretched out. It was she must have had an organizer in that bag because all I remember was sitting there waiting for my train. And I saw her walking, and my eyes were just like following this lady. And I said, okay, well, I never really saw the appeal of the Speedy before now. And I really liked the way it looked. And I thought to myself, all right, maybe I might be able to consider something like that. And so with the 25, I really had in mind, I wanted that look, that structured look. I knew I wanted the organizer. I wanted the shape of the Speedy, the iconic look. I didn't want that sag, period. Yeah, so I feel like the 25 with an organizer was a very good idea. And I liked the sag when I was walking through the airport. This slung around me. It was super comfortable, very, very easy to maneuver. Nobody was banging into me because I can't stand that. Nobody was trying to bang into my bag because I can't stand that. So, I didn't encounter any issues. So that was just my experience recently. All right, you guys. So that's what I wanted to come on here and talk about was just a little bit about what's going on with Gucci, what's going on with these accessible luxury companies that so many of us love, like Coach. I know there's a lot of people in the luxury community and those who are aspiring into luxury who really enjoy those brands. And I just found it to be very interesting where if those mergers actually go through, it could definitely impact people who seek accessible luxury. Prices are going to go up. People should be aware. They should try to get whatever pieces they're looking for now because they have the time. And if that merger goes through, it's going to be a done deal. Same thing for Gucci, which is going downhill right now. They're trying to turn around. What I would say is right now, the brands that are doing well under Kering are Bottega Veneta, Yves Saint Laurent. Who else did they say? Prada. So you should probably be taking a look at those brands before they try to jump prices on them because they've already raised prices on Gucci. Like understand that's how this works. Like those are the companies that are currently doing well. Don't mess with the prices. Continue to let the money pour in. Gucci's not doing well. We need to redesign, and after we redesign, we need to release new models at a higher price point. Buy Gucci now. On the resale market or on the outlets, because if you buy it new, it's it's not going to be worth much later, unfortunately. Like Coach and Michael Kors, unfortunately. So yeah. Thanks for joining my live, guys. I know I like to hop on here just out of the blue sometimes. I have no schedule. I have no schedule. I can't come up with a schedule right now. So I appreciate everybody when you join and engage in all the comments. I love that. So thank you so much. And if you're with me to the end, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.